Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. I just went to see Sinners, okay, from Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, honey, and I am still in awe of what I saw. I'm probably going to have to see this movie one or two more times only because it was just so much to enjoy, to take in. And I was like, Lord Jesus, help me. Now, y'all know to please subscribe to my channel. Okay, like the video, share the video as well. Okay, and stuff. Now, I'm here where I'm at, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? How was everyone? Thank you for watching this premiere. Okay, my review of Sinners. So look, I am not a horror film watcher. I don't really like scary movies or whatever, but I love to try my best, okay, to support black content creators, be that directors and actors if I can. And I am very much so a fan of Ryan Coogler. I am a fan of Michael B. Jordan. And when I kept seeing premieres and previews and conversations and interviews with the cast and crew of Sinners, I said, okay, Julie, go see it. Okay, so I was off today from work. So I went to an early showing of the movie and it was great. Okay, it's not a horror movie. If you are a person who's like, I don't want to see vampires, I don't want to be scared. If y'all hear bump, 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 my neighbor playing a little bit of music, but it's not that loud. But if you hear it, it says music upstairs. But again, if you are a person who does not really like scary, suspense, weird, stuff, you can go see this. Okay, it was minimal jump scare stuff. It was entertaining. And for me, most of the movie wasn't the vampireness of it. Okay. So first things first, again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay. The peoples. Okay. Michael B. Jordan plays twins, Smoke and Stack. Well, Smoke Stack. Okay. And I was so pleasantly surprised with how he really played both characters differently. Like there was a different person. It was as if it's like, is he a twin? So he plays both of that great. Stack is more of the aggressive twin, the talkative twin, the let's do some things twin, and Smoke is more calm, let's talk things out. I'm about my money and it has to make sense. And he don't say much, but when he do say something, he does it. So I love the dynamic in seeing him in both roles and seeing him on camera um as both people. And I know they said before that they had, one is in red and one is in blue. However, I do also feel like the differences that he played each character was more than just the color they wore. It was two different tones and the voices, two different cadences and how he talked. The accent was a little bit different. So there was a clear separation between the brothers. And that's because again, there were many scenes of them together on screen. So then been for him to play that dual role, and however they edited to have him play both roles. I know they had a stand-in when he was like talking to himself. So he had someone to talk to at times, but again, it was still the way he did. It was amazing. It was so good. Okay, we also had Annie and Mary. Now Mary was the love interest of Stack. Annie was the love interest of Smoke, and both of these women were different. Okay, there was, even though both men clearly loved both women, how they displayed it was different. The fact that Stack and Mary were lovers in the past, the movie is really, the Smokestack twins have come back. This is also back in 1930s. They've left Chicago, came back to Mississippi to open up a juke joint. Okay, but they were these child twin brothers, running game and running havoc against people or whatever. So they have a reputation, again, the smokestack twins. But back before they left, Stack was involved with Mary. And Mary, as you see, she's white, but Mary is also mixed a little bit, okay? But she is seen as a white woman. So Stack was like, yeah, I like a child when they because Smoking Stack has come back. And when Stack runs into Mary at at this girl, whoever girl out in the market or whatever, and she's pissed because he left and didn't come back. He left having her think he was gonna come back and he did not. She's you left me, you fucked me up real, you banged me real good, ate my cooch, okay, gave it to me real good and hard, and made me think you will come back and you didn't. I can't stand you, bitch. So again, there is a dynamic between them that at first like, oh, they hate each other, but they really love each other. And then with Annie and Smoke, who there is a level of I love you so much. It hurts me to be back around here. They had a child that passed away. Annie is also a hoodoo voodoo woman. She is very much so, but in the good way. Hoodoo around here is not in any evil thing. It's protection. It's all positive and that's whatever. So even Annie, while Smoke is gone, she's putting hoodoo voodoo on him to protect him. Even though he's been gone for 7 years, there was still this instant yearning of them wanting to be just around each other. And him coming back and going to their child's grave, which is in her backyard, and them just sharing the scene and them trying to kiss child. And she's like, oh, I see your body still reacts to my touch. Yes, it did, girl. It was a good scene, child. The fact that Smoke and Stack had love scenes with both their women, but there were two different version love scenes. Okay, Smoke and Annie was a I have to have you right now, and you're feel so familiar to my that we just melt into each other. And it's because as Smoke told Annie, I love you. And even though it hurts me to come back here because our child died, I can't stand to be away from you or whatever. It was a love story, child. It was a love story. Okay. So again, Annie and but I didn't I said Mary gonna be drama, and not because she white, but because at one point when Stack told her the best I could do for you was get you out of here and away from me. Because if someone hurt you, me and my brother gonna go on a killing spree. And if we go on a white man killing spree, it's gonna get us killed. So I had to make a way for you to be gone in a mansion with some white man. You couldn't be with me. And she like, I didn't want to be with some white man's wife. I wanted you. I didn't want to be white. Because I think her mom's father was like half mixed or whatever. So she's not purebred or whatever. She is what they would call back then like a mulatto. She was a mixed person, but she can fully pass for white. But she wanted to be a part of this black delegation. And for her, I didn't want to be white. I want you. And he said, you can't have me because you with me is dangerous. And you may not want to admit that shit, but that's why I left and did not come back. So boom. So we have that. We then have Preacher Boy, aka Sammy. Now the movie opens up with Sammy walking in a church covered in blood. I said, now what the hell going on here? What happened? Okay. And Sammy, again, Preacher Boy, his dad is a preacher. He is a blues singer, a great guitarist, and all that stuff and whatnot. But the daddy, who's a preacher, like, no, you sinning. Okay, that music is sin. If you keep playing with the devil, he gonna come fool you. And so, but preacher, well, like, look, I'm out here, I'm picking cotton, I work my finger to the bones, and all I want is to a bit of freedom to perform the music I love. And Smoke and Stack are his cousins. Okay, Smoke and Stack are is Preacher Boy's cousins, who because their fathers are brothers. Now, Smoke and Stack daddy dead. One of them killed the daddy. The daddy, I think the daddy would like beat Smoke. No, the daddy would beat Stack. And then one day when the daddy knocks Stack out, I think Smoke killed him. Anyway, the daddy did. But again, those are older cousins, and that's the little cousin. And because they're back in town for this juke joint, and he plays the blues really, really good. You know, he's for this one night only, one night only. And that's what it was, child. So we see Preacher Boy in the cotton fields picking cotton, be like, okay, but it's my one day to get my guitar and go play the blues with my cousins or whatever. And the day, like, I brought your guitar to church. Come here and help me, preach the word. And he like, Daddy, look, I have been the best son to you. You really should let me be what I want to be and leave me alone. And they like, I'm telling you, son, like the devil out there. Stop playing. And he ain't listening. Now we'll get Remick is the villain. Okay, he's the evil that comes for everyone. But again, the movie is around 2 hours and 17 minutes. There's two post-credit scenes. So if you're going to see it, do not leave until the screen goes black, black, black. Okay? You need to at least stay for the first post-credit scene, and there's a second one as well. A lot of folk, because I went, today, which is Friday. It was the fourth. It wasn't a sold out theater, but I went at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But it was still a full theater of people, and a lot of folks got up before the first post credit screen, and then some left after that. And I said no, because I saw on social media that it was two, so I stayed to the end. Okay, so there are two post credit screens, post credit scenes, so stay for that. Anyway, what was I saying, child? I don't know. I lost count. But again, Remick, I forgot what I was saying. Forget that, because I lost my track of thought. Smoking Stack go and they're trying to buy a building. Now, the getcha gotcha is we see them again. This is a rural Mississippi, cotton picking time, and all that stuff. And they come to town, they want to buy this building, this like barn. They buy from some white man or whatever, and tell them if your clan buddies come on our property, we gonna kill all y'all. Okay, so you ain't getting no more money from us. Take this payment, leave us alone, and go ahead on somewhere else. Okay, because Smoking Stack point was yes, we left and went to Chicago. However, Chicago is still racist crap. This was with tall buildings. Here we have houses and shacks. There they have buildings. Okay. So when they went to the barn area, they said, do y'all clean these floors? White man said, yeah, we clean the floors. Say, well, what's on the floors though? I said, what they, because again, what's on the floors? But we didn't get to that to the end. Okay. So they buy this barn to have this event, this juke joint. They want to have it be a regular thing. This is opening night and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, again, their cousin is going to come play as well. We have now child Delroy Lindo, who plays Delta Slam. Omar Benson Miller, who plays Cornbread, and then I am so pissed I cannot pronounce her name. I think it's Wunmi Moseka is her first name is spelled WUNMI, last name is spelled MOSAKU. She plays Annie. And again, we see the one twin go see his girl, but Delroy, who plays he's like Delta Slim is a musical, person in the area, whatever. He plays the harmonica, he plays in the piano. And so like, hey, we need you to come play at our juke joint. And he is a sinner in the fact of he drinks a lot. Okay. And they convince him to come play for their place for one night for like $40 and all the beer he can drink, because he's an alcoholic. He drinks himself, to keep himself from being whatever else. I don't know. But he's a drinker. So, he's paid to come do that. Cornbread, who was also a cotton picking farmer or a cotton picking black person or whatever, who wife was like, go make that money, bro. Okay. So they and then we have Annie who's coming to cook the food. Now there were also a Asian couple. I think let me see if I can find them. Let me share my screen, because the Asian couple, because we see them go throughout the movie, and they are basically getting people on their side, getting people to come to work for them for the night, but they're old because they've been gone for 7 years. But what is it? It was the Asian couple, child. I'm trying to see the names are. I know they were somewhere, because they were the ones who came, who gave them the food. They made them a sign. They were good friends and blah blah blah. What's it down here? But that's the Asian woman. Okay, I don't see and it may not be Asian. I may, you know what I mean. What is their name, child? Because they're not listed in the cast when I Google it in general. But when I was, going through the center's IG page, because it's a really good movie, and I was trying to find each cast picture, and I couldn't find each cast picture, but I was able to see a little bit more than I could before. Child, I should have been more prepared, but I wasn't. Boom. So yeah, it's child is a child, Yao. Oh no, Bo Child and his wife right here, Grace Child. So they were also in the thing too, but I didn't have their pictures around here. But I just feel like, they were also a part of the thing. So they have all the people at the juke joint. Okay. Also, we see what's this girl name? Let me see if I have the picture of her, because so they have the juke. Where's the girl picture? Because the cousin, okay, preacher boy see a lady he like. Now she's a married woman. Okay, and he invites her to the juke joint, and I'm like, sir, you were sent there because that's a married lady. And when they child, cause she's a singer too, and she got down there and he ate her cooch. That man, preacher boy, ate that lady Pearline's cooch in a juke joint in the night. I said, is it clean? Y'all been dancing, it's hot outside. And when she said, let me at least freshen up, he said, I just want to taste you. I was like, preacher boy, what are you doing? So the fact that throughout this movie, there are these moments of like love and affection and devotion and all these things. That's what I was saying earlier. The movie is not a vampire movie. It is 2 hours and 17 minutes. The vampireness doesn't start for about an hour and a half. So the first hour and a half is just good storytelling, character development. We see the backstories of this and that, and we see the glimmers of the evil coming. Now, when Remnick ass fell from the sky and was kind of on fire a little bit, his body was smoking a little bit, I said that's not normal. But again, vampires can't be in the daytime. And he runs to a house. Then we see the house he runs to is two Caucasian folks, okay, who was also KKK people. And I said, oh, okay, we can't trust y'all, okay. Remick in this movie is the vampire that turns all the people he turns. And I didn't like it. I was like, no, because we want them all to live. But again, the movie is not a strictly vampire movie. It is a story. And it was about music and history and good and bad decisions, paying attention to the spirits around you, listen to your inner voice, okay? Because when Preacher Boy sings, he has the power in his singing ability to attract things, and he attracted what? Some evilness. Okay. And when they're at the Jew joint, there's a scene in this movie where Preacher Boy is performing because they already does his thing at the thing, okay. But when he introduces Preacher Boy, and Preacher Boy is on the guitar he has is stacking Smoke Daddy's guitar, who's dead now, but he's singing the blues, and there's a sequence of transition to music from back in the day to African beats and drums to we see is it called Geisha Girls, I think so, whatever. But there is a scene of them just it was so, I was like, oh my god, from him on the guitar to like a Bootsy Collins to a rapping DJ in the 80s to just it transcended every genre of music, and it was the same beat, but the beat would transition to change, like it would be the same blues beat, and then it would transition to an African drum beat. It would then transition to a Japanese, Chinese, Asian influenced beat. It would transcend to a rapper. It was crazy how much ballerinas, crunk dancers, child twerking, and it's showing how over time music transcends and it can control the atmosphere and it can bring good, bad, and everything else, okay? But and when I seen Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan say the movie was made for IMAX, you do have to see this movie in the theater to enjoy the scenes. And I feel like even though they are in a barn enjoying a little juke joints, even though this is a guitar, okay, the performance that the Preacher Boy did, the voice, the transitions of, I was like, who did it? Who did Ryan Coogler? Because Ryan Coogler this, wrote, I think wrote, directed. Did he write and direct? I think he wrote it, directed everything. His and for this to not be, this is an origin story. This is the first of its kind. Sinners is not a remake. It's not it's something new. And while the promotion, the trailer made me feel like, oh, this is it's not a vampire movie. It's so much more. The vampire aspect of it to me was like people be blood sucking, people be killers, you know. And if you don't pay attention, you can just attract the wrong thing, and then you're forced to deal with life or death. What do I do? And I also want payback because you've killed my person and made them a you, and now I'm left to deal with the sadness of seeing my people as a vampire, and Annie being the hoodoo voodoo woman who is familiar with this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, that's not this. Those are vampires. You know what I'm saying? And you can't kill them. Okay. You have to do a steak to the heart or some garlic or some, you know what I'm saying? So it was that things. So the vampire piece of this is the background. The true story in how Smoke and Stack interact with each other, with other people. Preacher Boy having to realize what he wants to do. Even Remnick, who had this twisted sense of, well, Everyone is a sinner, and we're all one people. And so if you let me kill you and you become one of us, we can then, go on about our life and save the world from the other, you know, crazy people. And I'm like, what? But again, and I know I'm all over the place with this review, but the movie was that good. So again, seeing Smoking Stack coming back and folks, oh, that's Smoking Stack. Oh my God. And them getting the joint together, having everyone come down there. Again, Mary, who came around there, whatever child. Because when the white people, because again, it's a black juke joint. Okay, and Mary was the only white woman around there, and we having a good old time. Okay, again, and Auntie cooking the food. You got the two Asian folks who is helping too. Cornbread on the door. Delroy is on the piano. Pretty Boy is on. It was just a good time. Black folk minding our business, having a good time, and here come Killer John Boy and his friends, to the rescue. And it was crazy because when Remnick went to the white people house who were KKK peoples, and you then seen like Indian type of people come and try to say, hey, that man y'all in your house, he's not who y'all think he is. I may God be with you. And when the man said, hey, we have to leave because the sun going down. So we have to get a safety because if you're out, they can get you. The story of a vampire still needs permission to enter your house or they can't get to you is still real. So again, if we are out here trying to catch him in the daytime to kill him, we're safe because he can't be outside the daytime. However, when the sun go down, he has all the power to kill us. So if you don't want us to help you, peace, we gotta go. And he then kills the two white people who are now his extra people. And so the three of them go to the juke joint, child, thinking about picking bones and eating John Boy, eating somebody, I don't know. And I said, it's not weird. But them, the child, the three white people with musical guitars or whatever, trying to say, oh, we heard the music from far away, and we're here to, play. We want to have fun with y'all. Okay, we got money. We want to play music. They were like, no, going down to the Caucasianness of it all. Y'all ain't welcome here. And because they could not come in without invitation, no, go head on somewhere. Bye. And I'm like, the song they sang would have had me saying, let me just shoot y'all in the head. But again, you can't just kill white people back then. It'll get you killed. So that no, go ahead on somewhere. And then Mary was like, well, you know what? They said they had somebody. They'll probably talk to me because I'm white, and I can get some information. And so she took her little nosy ass to go talk to the crazy, deranged vampire people, and then they bite her ass. Okay, and then she around here with her blood sucking self in the thing, and child, I said, oh Lord, she got stack, girl. When she came back, said, "Can I come in?" I was like, "Oh, they got her. They got her." And because no one is aware of this going on, yeah, come on in, girl. And not a fox is loose in the hen house, and she go right to Stack, cause that's a man. Oh, you can rob banks and rob trains, but you can't take this pussy. I said, take this what, girl? And she seduces him to say, hey, I know you don't want to be with me, but look, we should fuck. Come on, let's have some sex. And Stack, what he do? He went and got some cooch. And I'm like, oh my God. And when they up there kissing and hugging child and in this thing, after so long of them having like a regular face on, they start drooling. He was like, why you drooling? And when I said, oh Lord, child, I was like, Lord, Stack run. But they don't know nothing about vampires. And oh Lord, her and Stack doing it and stuff. And then when Preacher Boy go looking for Stack and he opened the door, he see, oh, they doing this. He leaves. He don't know this bitch is killing him. Child, I said, "Oh no, Lord Jesus, not today." So they're like, "Well, no." So when Smoke, like, what the fuck is my brother? When Smoke walk in and he then see, oh, she's killing my brother, he shoot Mary, and she did what she got. Mary got up because she's a vampire, and I said, "Oh Lord," and that's when all the vampireness starts, and then we all like, "Well, what's going on?" And Annie is like, Stack is dead, Smoke. We need to get his body out the building because you shot Mary and that bitch jumped up and ran like nothing happened. We have to get Stack out of here before he wakes up too. And Smoke is so traumatized from watching his brother die. He's like, no, no one, no. And he just locked the door and leave Stack. I was like, oh God. The Smoke, get him out the building. Because again, you have to be invited in order to be let in. So they all like, oh, what happened? What happened? So they tell all the people that it was a big ass party. You hear me? Okay, it was a big ass party. And then the big boy Cornbread, who was supposed to be at the door, I gotta go pee. He left Delroy at the door. So Cornbread is what he's also now a fucking vampire. Okay. And so when they round, like, what's going on? You then hear Smoke. I'm sorry, you hear Stack knocking on the door. They're like, what's Stack there? Is he knocking? And I'm like, that ain't Stack. And he said, that's not your brother, Smoke. Like, don't open that door. Okay. We saw him die, and then when Stack bust through the door, oh shit. And they threw like some garlic water or whatever. He runs out. So they in the building, right? And I'm like, now it's the vampire shit. Cause they're like, who the fuck knocking on the door? So now we have to fight. Okay, so we got child, Smoke wanna fight, Annie want to fight, the Asian lady want to fight. Now, the Asian lady husband had went outside, okay, to get to warm the car or something or whatever. So he's a goner. Okay, so the Asian lady is in here with them, and we fighting and stuff. Now, Pearline, who let Preacher Boy eat her cooch, is fighting too. You know what I'm saying? And so from there, it's like, okay, they some vampires. We have to survive until the daytime. But because they closed the Juke joint down and all the patrons went outside, which means what? Crazy Caucasian people have now made all of them vampires. Okay. So it's a herd because it's not only white people who are bloodsuckers, they're also black people. Okay, so Stack is the goddamn Stack is the Asian lady husband is child. It's bad. Okay, corn. It was crazy. So they on the inside like making steaks. Little garlic water. Okay, and all this just to survive into the daytime. And when the Asian lady husband come knocking, hey baby, come on, let's go outside. They're like, don't listen to him. And they're like, hey, either let us in or we're going to go to your house and eat your daughter. And I was like, no. And the Asian bitch, ooh, she made me mad because she is so pissed because she don't want them to kill her daughter. She gets pissed off me and say, come in. Yeah, come in. I'm like, no. Bitch, why would all y'all had to do was survive until the sun rose? But no. Now, Mary crazy ass, Stack is crazy, Remick is crazy. Okay. Cornbread is around there too. He's big and it's craziness. And to a whole just so we see a scene of Smoke and Stack fighting, and I'm like, Michael B. Jordan beat his own ass. Okay, because it is the love the brothers had for each other. Because even though Stack is a vampire now, he still is not trying to kill his brother. He's fighting his brother. You know what I'm saying? Even Annie, who's fighting as well. It was No, they was just having a good time, child. They was just having a good time singing and dancing and enjoying music or whatever. And then Delroy's character, who was like, um, before they get to y'all, they got to go through me. And he ended up, he sacrificed himself to, because the crazy man said, I'm really trying to get Preacher Boy. His singing, his spirits. I need that because I've been walking this earth a long, long, long time, and you have something I need, and so I want you. If y'all give me him, I'll let y'all live. And Delroy's character and Smoke was like, nah, that can't happen. Even Andy too. But even because the Asian bitch, come in here, because she wanted to prevent them from getting to her daughter. But I'm like, bitch, you go outside. Don't invite them in. So because she said come in here, they was able to come in. And when she took a stake to her, she killed her husband dead. You know what I'm saying? And she burnt up. The husband burnt up. They died together. So not the daughter's an orphan, a whole orphan. It was a crazy fight sequence of these people right here. So again, Pearline, who was fucking Sammy Boy, I'm sorry, who was fucking Preacher Boy, Annie, Smoke, Preacher Boy, Delroy character and the Asian lady. So it's them fighting the vampires. And they lost. When Annie told Smoke, if they bite me, I need you to kill me before I turn into one of them because our baby died. And when I die, I will be back with our child. And when you die, you will be with us. So if I get bit, you need to promise me that you will stake me in the heart. And sure enough, she gets bit. You know what I'm saying? And he makes the promise. And he does it. He kills her. What she was happy about. And then we see Smoke and Stack fighting, and I'm like, Lord. So we see Smoke and Stack fighting. We see them trying to give time for Preacher Boy to get away. And when they like, it was a knockdown, drag out fight between Michael Jordan and himself, and it was crazy. And then Preacher Boy's outside being chased and beaten up by Remick, who scars his face up. It was such an amazing movie. You know what I'm saying? And it's not only is the point of it was not about vampires. And it was crazy because once Stack became a vampire, all of their memories are joined. So because the two people who Remick killed first were KKK members, Stack knew, yeah, the man we bought the barn from, he was gonna come back tomorrow and kill us. This barn is a killing room floor. So in the beginning of the movie, when they say, have y'all cleaned the floors? Like, what is on the floors? It'd be blood because the KKK kills black people there, takes their money, gives them the barn, and then comes back and I said, oh God. So Stack like, we can become vampires and go kill them. It's like, I don't want to be a vampire. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay. But the fighting scene of them fighting and Smoke winning, you see Remnick out there, child, beating up Poe Preacher Boy. But thank God, Smoke makes it out the building to come save Preacher Boy. And they then watch as the sun comes up and all of the vampires who are left outside are burning up. They're all dead. And I'm like, damn, so Annie dead, Mary dead, Delroy dead, Cornbread dead, Pearline dead, everybody dead. And when Smoke tells Preacher Boy, get rid of that guitar and leave. Go on somewhere. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is crazy. So in the beginning of the movie, we see Preacher Boy getting back home from this one night only event to his daddy's church. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh yeah, my son is back from the evil. See, son, put that guitar down, put it down. And we see Preacher Boy just like kind of crying, face scarred up, and he leaves with the guitar. And then we see like the scene plays out to show he was 18, 19 here. We then see him, he's 80, still playing the guitar. It's now 1980 something or whatever. It's all these, years later. And maybe it was the 90s. And he owns a juke joint called Pearline's after the girl, you know what I'm saying, who's fucking that. Um and he is still playing the blues because that was his freedom. Smoke and Stack left to find freedom in Chicago and didn't find it. They wanted freedom as far as money and currency. When Annie wanted freedom as far as her being back with her child. Mary wanted freedom as far as her being able to be with Stack. Pretty Boy just wanted to be free to play music, and each of them had a different way of trying to be free. Even Remick, who wanted to be free to, just be a vampire and kill people and whatever. So it was crazy to see Pretty Boy survived, and stuff. But before that, child, Michael B. Jordan, in the beginning, he told the white man who sold him the building, if you or your KKK friends come back here, I'm going to kill you. Okay, I'm going to pop my trunk and kill you. And, because Stack told Smoke, they were planning to come kill us anyway in the morning. So, child, Smoke, who was traumatized from fighting vampires all night at the juke joint, he then lost his brother. He lost the woman he loves. He's lost all this, and he's crazy, crazy night. So he's sitting there, he's waiting for the Caucasian folk to come because he knew they was coming. And when he came with, because they had gun shop, Tommy guns, grenades, because they was also war people, and he sat and plotted. I told you, you and your wife, if y'all come to my property, I'm going to kill y'all. He locked the doors of the barn. So they're all outside. He just killed them dead. But he got shot and he died too. And it was crazy because he was sitting there. He was sitting down. And I'm like, is he hallucinating? Because he didn't kill all the people. And he looks over. He sees Annie. She's in all white, and she's breastfeeding the baby. Their baby died. And so again, she told him, our baby's waiting for me. And so when you die too, you will join us. And I'm like, oh damn, that means he's dying. Because he's able to see her. She said, if you put that gun down, if you put whatever else down, you can hold her. And the white man is a little bit alive. And so when he killed the dead child, and he then holds his baby, so daddy's here. I was like, oh my God. He was reunited. So he was free. He's with his woman and with his baby in the afterlife. His brother is dead. Pretty Boy made it out. And they killed all the bad vampires, okay? In the post-credit scene where we see Pretty Boys and adults, and we see someone say, hey, it's two people here who was asking to come in. Can they come in? He's like, sure, no problem. Child, Stack and Mary in 1990s hip hop. I said, bitch, what is going on? And then he was like, how? And we then see when Stack and Smoke were fighting, Smoke knew he couldn't beat him. I can't beat you. I love you too much to kill you. And Stack was like, Smoke made me promise to leave you alone. Okay? To not harm you, and he will let me live. And so I kept my promise. And because Smoke let Stack live, Stack grabbed Mary and they hid. And when the sun rose, they didn't die because they weren't outside. I was like, so if you've seen the movie and you did not stay long enough to see, Stack is alive and been alive. Again, it was 1930s, and now it was around the 1990s, and he was like in a coolie sweater, a gold plated ring, child. It was so, I was like, oh my God. It was such a good movie. And when Pretty Boy said, I still have, like, I wake up time and I had nightmares for that night. Because, because again, they were cousins. You know what I'm saying? This movie was so much more than I think their preview and trailer made it out to be. And you have to see it in the theater. It was horror for sure. It was history as far as Jim Crow, racist people, deception, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff from then and now. It was funny. It was funny parts too. Action for sure. Like once the shit got down to them in the juke joint, it was up action. It was also a musical because the performances of Preacher Boy, even Delroy's character as well, with the music, and it was just, and even a part of us thinking, oh yeah, well the vampires are white. Some of them were black because he started off, and there was one child, and after he Remick bit all the folks at the party, and they're outside waiting to get in, and they're singing and dancing, and he's river dancing because it's still about music, and even the evil vampire is musically enticed, and it changes the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And it just, music moves things, and you have to be careful. You hear me? Seeing Michael B. Jordan and the actor who plays Preacher Boy, watching all the vampires burn, you know what I'm saying, after fighting for their lives, was crazy. And, I do feel like, in my opinion, different generations, because again, even Preacher Boy Daddy, who was older, the twins Smoking Stack, who were, younger or whatever, those are different generations to current times. You know what I'm saying? The blues music, hip hop and all of that. It had horror, thriller, a couple of jump scares. It had gore, but the comedy that was in it, the love stories that were in it, the connections that were in it. Even Haley asked, this is Haley, I'm married. The actress Haley plays Mary. Even her having to be the vessel of evil that got in, that got Stack killed. And then even in their afterlife, they were still in love and together. Because her point was, I want to be with you. I don't want to be white. I don't want to be some white man's wife. I always wanted to be with you. That's all I ever really wanted. And that was great. And in the music scene, there's an overlapping of the music in different genres, different dance, different cultures, but all happening at the same time. Even a part to where you see them dancing and enjoying it, and we see what the whole building burned down because they are surrounded by danger and no one knows it. Oh my God, I just can't. I can't. If you have not went to see it yet, go see it. And if you have seen it, did you also love it as much as I did? I don't think I've ever seen a horror music incorporate music in this way, love stories in this way, evilness, whether it's vampires plotting to kill folk or KKK people, people taking advantage of people. I'm saying even Smoking Stack, who would hustlers. You know what I'm saying? They hustle up upon money. They rob some people to get enough money to come back home to get a juke joint. And child, again, if you play with the devil, it's gonna come knocking for you, and they came knocking. And your love got you killed. but y'all was together in the end. And even seeing Smoke get his revenge, and even Smoke sitting there after it all, he's shaking. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he went through. But him have stop shaking, get the guns, and kill 20 people. It was an amazing movie. Michael B. Jordan playing a dual role. It's fantastic. Every actor in this movie did great, start to finish. Again, it's not the first hour and a half, it's just storytelling. That's amazing. The music, the connection, even them having Smoke and Stack do separate things, um, and explaining different parts of their life, seeing how they connect to the other people in their lives, all of that, how they brought all of these people together to have a good time, and they all died. Again, be careful being enticed by money. Be careful being enticed by pussy. Okay? Be careful to not allow the wrong people in your house. You know what I'm saying? But also stand up for something. Don't be afraid to be devoted to your brother. You know what I'm saying? Because their devotion still saved them in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because Smoke wanted to be with Annie and their baby, and that happened to be when they were dead. You know what I'm saying? Preacher Boy wanted to be free of his father's hold of him, with him saying, no, be in the church. He's like, I love God. Yes, I do. But I also like the blues. You know what I'm saying? And Remick is not dead and gone. He's free of this world because he's burned up. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoy. If y'all think y'all heard the child, my neighbor up there is on some bull stuff. I'm gonna leave that be. Please like, subscribe, and share. I gotta go. Yeah, Sinners, great movie. Great movie. Anyway, like the video. Bye.